Hi there, and welcome to today's video. My name is Melinda, and today I want to share about finding joy in the tough seasons of motherhood. This video shows a day when I was doing some baking with my children, and it wasn't easy. It's not my favorite thing to do, but sometimes some baking needs to be done, and it needs to be done with children around. And so I was trying to find the joy in the day and enjoy my children, even if I had been sick that week and it was a day of solo parenting and it just wasn't ideal. But it worked. We got through it. You'll see fingers stuck in the ingredients as they like to taste of everything, and it certainly doesn't stay nice and cleaned up. But, well, that is what happens when you're baking with children. And we can still find joy even when motherhood isn't just ideal. And that's what I want to talk about today. So, I always dreamed of being a mom, and I exactly dreamed of baking with my children and imagined all the fun we would have together. Read stories, we'd play and laugh. But now with intensity of life, I find it harder to feel that joy. Like this baking, I wanted to get it done and not have little fingers stuck in my ingredients. Maybe I have to work on teaching them more. But anyway, it wasn't the easiest day for us, and we made it. So, how do we find joy in motherhood? One verse that keeps coming back to me is the Nehemiah 8:10, the part that says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." So the joy of the Lord, that tells us the joy comes from the Lord, and that when we have His joy, we have strength, and it's easier to do the hard things. We have to remember that happiness can come from the circumstances around us and when all is going well, but joy comes when we have Jesus. Joy is deeper than the circumstances surrounding us. I don't know if you've heard that little chorus that goes, J-O-Y, J-O-Y, J-O-Y must be Jesus first, yourself last, and others in between. Yes, we moms need to sometimes take time for self-care, but joy comes from putting Jesus first, others next, and ourselves last. By not demanding the best of everything, not requiring so much to make us happy, we will find joy. One thing that really helps me to find joy is to count all the little blessings. Whenever I start getting overwhelmed and bogged down and find it hard to see joy around me, I try to remember all the little things that make me happy. The bouquets my children bring, their smiles and giggles, bird songs, a glimpse of the distant mountains, all the beauty that comes around us, the little things that work out. Just getting to be a wife and mom is a huge blessing. So make it a habit of counting all the blessings. You'll find it's easier to face the hard seasons from that perspective. It maybe takes a while to learn to practice gratitude to get the habit. One thing I've done sometimes that has really helped is to have a paper or a gratitude journal or something that throughout the day write down the little things that bring joy, the little blessings from God, the gift of a few fruits from someone, the giggles of my children when they're playing, all these little things. And when you write them all down, they start adding up and you feel blessed. Another thing to find joy in motherhood is to live in the moment. When I think back to how it was sometimes easier or how looking forward to when my children are bigger, it steals my joy. But when I try to live in the present, it is much easier to find joy in just being satisfied with where I am now. For me also, it helps to accept that it is tough to admit to myself, yes, there are seasons that are tough. And it's okay. It doesn't have to be easy in order to be happy. We want the good feelings, but we need to accept that it won't always all be sunshine and rainbows. These simple mindset shifts have really helped me out. Another thing that helps me is, yes, even if I'm living in the moment, to remember that this will pass. No hard moment lasts forever. Actually, I read somewhere the other day, most hard moments are hard, yes, are over in 20 minutes. So we can handle anything for 20 minutes. When I had just my first two, there were some really tough moments. They were 16 months apart and we had a very unfinished house. But now when I look back at the pictures of those two when they were 1 and 2 year olds, it sometimes I wish I could just go back, you know. I know there's things I wouldn't want to go back about, but they're growing up so fast. I don't think you need to feel guilty either when it's hard to enjoy it, motherhood. But still, we can be grateful for the blessings that do give us these hard days. One thing that helps me to find more joy is to have a good routine established. When the house and the schedule is in a reasonable order, when my children, when I've been teaching them to help me keep up with chores, all that helps me enjoy my home and my children better. Another thing that has helped me to find joy is to get rid of unrealistic expectations. It just is not realistic, nor healthy, nor proper, nor good to always have a clean, tidy house when you have a bunch of little children. You can go to the other extreme and not clean it up. And I do recommend regularly getting it cleaned up and tidied and cleaned too. But children pull things out, and they're being children, and we just have to let go of the expectations. And not compare ourselves with others either, because we all have our gifts. Some moms can do something better than we can, but we each have our strengths and weaknesses and advantages and disadvantages in our life wherever we are. So don't compare yourself, and just, it's okay if you can't measure up to what you wish you did or what others do. You are you, and you can be the best mom possible for your children and find joy in whatever situation. Another thing that really helps is to find time to rest. It's hard. It's hard to break away from the work. It's hard to, but sometimes it's impossible, but sometimes we need to. Because when we take time to rest, then coming back and seeing everything, it puts it in new focus, and we come back with renewed energy often. Try to be intentional in this season of little ones, so that you don't miss out on the happy moments of motherhood. Because the truth is, there are lots there. Sometimes we have so much going on that we lose out on the joyful moments if we don't take the time to focus on them. But we don't want to look back with regret someday, back on these little years. And so I encourage you to try to find joy in the moment in motherhood. When you just can't, when there's postpartum depression or some bigger struggle and it's hard to feel the joy, really ask the Lord to help you and find a support system. I hope you find other women. I hope other family members. I hope your husband, others who can support you so that you can get through tough seasons, because it's not that we're always going to be able to find happiness. But fill your cup up with the Lord's strength so that you can have joy in any moment. I hope this was an encouragement to you. Seasons don't last forever. Even if now you're going through a season of struggling to enjoy motherhood, there will come days when it will be easier. I'm cheering for you, and I'm doing my best to enjoy my little ones. And yes, if I make it sound sometimes like I don't, it's not that I don't. I maybe sometimes highlight the hard days, but I want to highlight all the joy. There's been other days that it's so easy to enjoy my children, even when the work is about the same and everything. It depends on different things, even the hormonal state we are in, but we can still find joy. Let me know in the comments what you do to find joy in the tough seasons of motherhood. Thank you for joining me today for this baking day with my little ones. Like I mentioned earlier, it won't look neat at all. Sometimes I'm probably too lenient and don't hold the boundaries well enough. And other times I just want them to enjoy tasting the ingredients and helping out. And I hope that you let your children join you too. We'll see you in the next video.